Well, it's another beautiful morning, a Friday morning, and indeed the beginning of a lovely weekend, as much as also the festive period. I want to welcome you to Quest today. I'm Michael Babadia. And well, it's that very time. We always enjoy being with you guys from now till later around. Well, we'll even extend it to 10:30 because Sport Shuffle will come through, and all of the excitement will definitely be with us. But you do know, every lovely Friday, we tend to do first, or rather go first with the papers. And today, I have no other person joining me on this rather than Comrade FM. Good morning and welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Is your ram ready, or what are you slaughtering this period?
Well, anyways, what we have, we'll manage with.
Don't discourage me from coming to your house.
Well, anyway, Domo, I am quite sure you get water to drink when you come on that day. Cold one if you wish.
I know you will do more than that.
Okay. Well, anyway, as much as we'll do all of that, it's quick. It's nice for us to quickly say we'll have 4 papers for review today. We have The Guardian, The Daily Trust, The Punch, and also The Nation to look at on the paper review today. And I truly want to start with The Guardian. Let's see how it guides us through the dailies this morning. And that, well, quite funny headline, but disturbing it is. On The Guardian this morning, the leading story reads, Nigeria, the making of a human rights abuse heaven. Like I said, it's quite disturbing, and funny enough, it's on their own big story, just like ours will be later, talking about the abuse of domestic help. But theirs, they're talking about human rights abuse heaven. Well, you can just truly read that story up on page 4 and 5 of The Guardian. Supreme Court reversed judgment in Kano Goba case is another screamer that you can get on page 28 of The Guardian. Additional wins of Bafemi Awolowo Leadership Prize, no surprise, you can get that on page 7. And again, MBS pegs unemployment rate at 4.2% amid business closure. And well, the first initial time they did that, it was questioned, and I'm quite sure many will question how they got to that very rate. But anyway, I'll just implore you to go to the business page 16 of The Guardian. Tinubu wife launches 950 million naira support scheme for the elderly is a story on page 26. And Rep summon Serika over Nigerian air project. No surprise, it was more of a talk on page 3. And passengers stranded as 50% transportation rebate scheme stalls. And you can get that story on page 6. But what's also a major one on page 28 is House summons minister CBN over limited withdrawals from banks and ATM. Comrade Doma, I'll really be getting your views on this. It's becoming more of a worrisome one, and well, it's quite really disturbing. But anyway, we'll not disturb ourselves, but you do know, well, the big story is also that you seem to have on the picture of the day. We're talking about human rights abuse heaven in Nigeria. But anyway, that's the much we can take from The Guardian. Let's quickly go to the next paper, which will be The Nation. And let's see what The Nation has for us on its front page. And a big screamer, well, many who said they were really expecting, but others will say, wow. And Mefele, ex-minister, 14 others indicted in CBN probe. Reactions to that investigator report shows massive plunder of Apex Bank, 31.78 billion paid to print new Naira notes, and 543.45 million euros fixed in British bank, and 1.62 trillion COVID-19 funds unaccounted for. And these are major that seems to be holding a Mefele also. But I'll just employ you to continue that story on page 4 as I continue with others. 11 Supreme Court judges designate may be sworn in next week. And you can get that story on page 2. And cash crunch, CBN lawmakers warn POS agent, banks and farmers linked to shortage. And like I said, we'll be looking at that later, but page 7 has that story. Tinubu will make Nigerians safe, Minister assures also on page 4. And Ekiti workers to get 15,000 naira wage award for 6 months. And well, if the Ekiti workers will be smiling, I employ them to go read page 27 of The Nation newspaper. Well, First Lady gives out 25 million naira per state to senior citizens. I hope it will get to the senior citizens, not to those high citizens. And passengers overwhelm free interstate UTI train service. And no surprise that's happening. Government, petrol production begins next week at Port Harcourt refinery. It's a cherry one on page 5. And federal government to remain or return 15 million out-of-school children to classroom by 2027. And honestly, I feel that's a tall feat. But let's see how it happens. But I'll just implore you to get that on page 3. But the picture of the day is that of no other person but President Bola Ahmed Tinubu receiving more flowers from no order. But when he paid the courtesy visit, or somebody paid him when he returned from Abuja at the Murtala Mohammed Airport just yesterday, and you can see that it's all smiles. But anyway, we'll smile around with it as we quickly go to Daily Trust and trust ourselves with more as it concerns the front pages of the Daily. And on Daily Trust this morning, the leading story reads, low turnout, lack of cash, federal government 50% discount for travelers. And Comrade Odomo, would you take this scheme and see if you travel? Well, anyway, I wonder.
To come and break my leg because of 50%.
Okay, well, anyways, right as to what Comrade Odomo is scared of is 5 million commuters targeted for support, says Information Minister. 5 companies approved for logistics. Racketeering returned to Rigasa train station. But I'll tell you to return that story to page 4 of the Daily Trust. NMPP supporters resort to praying as Supreme Court reverses judgment. Well, anyway, judgment will not be there in heaven, but right here on earth. And the Supreme Court will be doing that on page 11. And 88% of Nigerians self-employed, says MBS. Well, I don't know. Okay. Port Harcourt refinery begins operation after Christmas. And, well, that sharing news is coming from the minister on page 25. And man accuses in-laws of spending lost and found hard currency. Hey. Well, anyway, you can get that story on page 30. PDP calls for Shomole investigation over vote buying. And who he bought it from, how much he bought it from, where did he buy it from, and how did he buy it, all you can get on page 12. Senate confirms 11 Supreme Court justice. It's another major one on page 11. But another, a screamer on the front page is CBN investigators uncovers 593 foreign accounts opened by Emefiele. And it's a screamer right there. As we say, over 543 million euros in UK fixed deposits, more in US and China. Additional infraction discovered in Nigeria. Wow. Wow. The rate of corruption is really mind-blowing. But anyway, don't blow your mind on that and just keep a sane head. But the picture of the day is, well, that of travelers that are using the opportunity to cash in on the 50%. Well, I just hope, like Comrade Odomo will say, when they reach there, then go pay. You never know. Okay. But anyway, what I know is let's go to the Punch, which is the last paper for us to quickly look at. And on the Punch this morning, Emefiele operated 593 illegal US, UK, China accounts. And while CBN investigator. And I will just be asking Odomo, you're also an accountant. Where are you? But anyway,
I wasn't consulted, though, Mike.
Foreign account operated without board's approval. 26 trillion ways and means fraud uncovered. Emefiele, Buhari aid, 12 CBN directors to face trial. 2 detained over $6.23 million theft. And they were tiffing it, and yet they said no money. But anyway, I'm not the judge, but go grab a copy of the Punch, and page 2 has more of that story. Okay. Tinubu threatened Fubara to sign resolution, ex-commissioner alleges. We looked at it yesterday on the big story, and well, anyway, your guess is as good as mine. Go read page 26 of the Punch. 11 billion judgment, PNID loses bid to appeal Nigerians' victory. And that victory song you can dance on page 19. VP governors raise panels on crude oil theft and economy. Okay, well, you can get that story on page 22. Kaduna as PSC shortlists 416,270 for police job. Well, if they add to the numbers, will be good. Passengers storm train station, interstate luxury buses caught fares, and you can get up story on page 2. Nigerians divided as bishop kick against blessing of same-sex marriage. And since the pontiff said that just with the week, we've been hearing the serious kick against. Some for and some totally against such. Well, anyway, page 1 has that story. But what's a picture of the day and also a story on page 23 is Port Harcourt refinery to process 60,000 barrels per day after repairs. And like they said, it's coming after Christmas. But anyway, we wish it came earlier and it would have been the best Christmas gift ever.
50% transport discount.
Well, anyway, we just hope so. But anyway, that's the much we can take from the papers this morning. Like I said, we had 4 of them. And like I said, we can now open up the lines, all in the bid for us to have your views, comment, contributions, all centered on it. But remember, we still have Comrade FM&TV right here, and we'll be looking at some majors as it concerns it. The numbers will be with you shortly on your screen in case you're watching us on the TV, and interestingly, you love to listen, or rather call and be a part of it. On the radio arm is 08022931931. As you can also reach us on 08188888931. With those 2 numbers, it's Quest today. Paper review it is. Well, anyway, let's see if we take those calls as much as we take them. We'll just quickly, before we do so and get anyone coming in. Comrade Odomo, yes, I'm really, really concerned about the Emefiele-operated 593 legal US, UK, China accounts. And CBN says CBN investigator. Remember the few times he went to church, or rather to court,
yes,
he took a very big red Bible. Yeah. But do you feel a big red Bible will really help here now, knowing that the foreign account operated without board approval, 26 trillion ways and means a fund uncovered, and a whole lot of?
You know, Mike, it's like trying to play that gimmick of any money found in the Bible is for God. Oh. But he has forgotten that these monies were never in the Bible. They were in the CBN vaults.
Okay, would have carried the vote rather than a big red Bible.
Exactly.
Oh, well, anyways, yeah.
No, definitely this man, I don't think they should leave. If at all, because they say you should not pass judgment until the court pronounces.
Yes, of course.
Yes, if at all these things are very, very correct, then the man should remain in the gulag. You know, this Patrice, that Professor Patrice, when he said, Lumba. Yes, when he said in North Korea, if you steal, they kill you. If in China, if you steal, you kill yourself. In UK, you steal, they jail you. In Africa, you steal, you present yourself for elections. Is it playing out in this scenario? How can somebody be so wicked to that extent? And you saw millions of Nigerians dying on a daily basis on the streets because of hunger. Last year, we were made to lose an average of 40% of our total assets. In the sense that you take 100,000 to the bank, they will give you 60,000, 40,000 is lost. Then somebody sees somewhere to be cornering all this money and making them his personal savings, and you are still able to talk. I don't think that man is even a corrupt person. I don't think he's a sinner, but the man himself is a sin. You know, what is a sin? What is sin? A sin is Satan incarnate natural, and that is what the man represents.
Well, anyway, is you giving him judgment already?
I'm not giving him judgment.
Okay, well, let's quickly go to this. How summons Minister CBN over limited withdrawals from bank ATM. And follow-up to that story is one that we also have as a major one on the front page of The Guardian. CBN, lawmakers want POS agents as bank farmers linked to shortage. Wow. And we see experiencing such at these very trying times.
I think this thing has been on for too long a time. It's not only this year. These shortages at the Yuletide period. It's not just beginning. Only that it has, we have not actually been noticing it. Yeah. How can they tell us that because of POS withdrawals, that's why the cash is scarce? Even in the POS depot, do we not also have cash there? Yeah. You go to them that you need just 10,000, they will tell you that you have to wait, or they've not gone to the bank. So even the monies are not with the POS.
So that's the idea. That's why they feel the banks, most deposit banks are in agreement with these POS operators to hoard this money and make it look expensive in withdrawal so they can come back and reap from
Exactly, that's what they are doing. If there are some banks within my locality there. If you go there for money, they will tell you there is no money. But the POS guys are having this money. So and we want to tell them, before you even say I want 10,000, we just tell you your charges is 3,000. And they throw their faces away. There is nothing you can do. You are pressed to have to make that money. And they will tell you, wait, let me go to the bank and come. But you personally, you go to the bank, the ATM boxes are dried up, no cash. You go into the bank, they will tell you they can only give you 10,000. But go to the POS. I had somebody who was to travel back to UK this very weekend. He needed money to transport money to Lagos. He couldn't get. But he was able to get so much money from the POS at an exorbitant rate. How did the money get to the POS? How possible the money was not in the bank? How possible the money was not in the ATM boxes? But the POS operators are having that money.
Do people still go to ATM boxes? But anyway, it's a question.
No, they still go.
Because you go there and sometimes there seems to be no cash.
No cash.
All of the day.
Unable to dispense cash.
Yeah. This one is more of a normal thing that Nigerians are getting used to.
If government actually wants to do this, we can suffer the pains for some time, yes. But let these POS operators be removed from the system. They are Shylock human beings. They don't want the good of anyone. How can somebody punish human beings to that level? We have blood running in our brain, in our veins.
Okay, anyway, we have calls coming through also, and let's see if we take those calls and get those reactions. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. This is Harry from Mosuga.
Okay, Harry from Mosuga, go ahead, sir.
Nigeria, the making of human rights abuse happen. Now, the truth is that from what they have said now, it is a fact that there's high human rights abuse. And the World Justice Project said that in a country where there is no human rights, where there's no rule of law, there's no development, and they start to pay. So it is high time the PSOs and all the other human rights people to say that there's human rights, and of course there's rule of law in this country. Then again, Luton passengers stranded as a result of 50% transportation things fall. Yes, you know the way they say that they are going to reduce the transport cost by 50%. Better. So I know in Nigeria are very smart, but better if it was reduce the cost of fuel for the time frame and manage it well. Then finally, Tinubu threatened Kubana to sign agreement as commissioner. This was the River State crisis. We should let it be the way it is for now. And the governor, the governor should be, because the governor will, who they say is trying to just preachers may give them 100,000 each before I'm trying to look at things too. Because if it's a move, children will be there. And of course, you have to be, let's get the peace in that state. As a good sir.
Well, thank you so much, Henry, calling all the way from Mosuga, a regular. And he took a look at 2 or 3 major issues. But let's really return back to the calls, get some reactions, and get your comments.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you.
This is Sarino calling from Ngwele.
Well, nice to have you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey, Mashere, it's particularly finally started working now.
Yes, and but you will start full production after Christmas, so stated by the minister.
Okay. All right, we thank God, yeah.
We hope you are not planning to go to Port Harcourt to buy fuel.
Well, anyway, I just hope that as much as they have started, we're going to have relief.
Yes, it's going to have
help to increase the numbers.
If they don't give us in this area, it will reduce the pressure of demand.
Okay, we have someone on the line. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Mike and Double.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Friday.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Friday from Ezobo now.
That we do know. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. I want to dwell on this money crunch. On this MFLA issue. We are not happy at the situation of this country. We can't be in a country when we are lacking money. We have money in the bank. We don't have access to withdraw the money. Every day we say that there is money in POS, in ATM. Go to ATM, you will not see money to withdraw there. So we have money. Our money is trapped somewhere. We can't access our money. We are just romancing over this issue. It's not helping the country. We are not happy at the situation of this country. MFL has created a problem in this country that we are finding it difficult to be free from that problem. Please, I don't know how the government of today will help us. Look at Christmas now. We cannot access our money. Even PS, you can't have money to withdraw. You have money, you can't withdraw it. It's not helping us. Let us be realistic. Please.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Friday. And thank you so much, Mr. Friday. And no surprise you're ranting about that. It's beginning to be more of a problem. And having the difficulties of having increased price of goods and having no money to even pay for them is really challenging. But no challenge for us to take one last call. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling off from, and please go ahead.
This is Engineer Charles calling from.
Okay, Engineer Charles, I appreciate if you can speak out a bit louder. We can barely hear you.
Yeah. I said it the other time when a Mr. was arrested by Tinubu. People were saying that they should release the man. It's a political this, it's a political that. And Mr. have killed more than 40% Nigeria because they died in that Naira scarcity. So I just want Mr. to submit all the assets and declare everything to the federal government and let them use them to recover Nigeria, part of Nigeria money that they have stolen. Then before they do it anything, either they send it to jail or anyhow they want to do it. Let them select all the property to Nigeria government.